Hi, my name's Antelia and I am here with,
Hi, I'm Alejandra,
and we are going to be talking about the project that we have done this semester. But before we do that conversation, we'd like to tell you a little more about ourselves. I am, of course, a multidisciplinary studies major, and I have a focused study in criminal justice, business, and biology. A question that I'd like to answer would be, what did I enjoy most of this project? Was that we were able to go out to different places in San Antonio and venture around and analyze the women, meet different women, and get a one-on-one.
Yeah, get them one-on-one with us actually getting our data down. My major is also multidisciplinary studies, and I have a communication, sociology, and a business focus. And that's definitely what Antelia said, that we did enjoy asking these people and actually getting to know other women in San Antonio in different areas that kind of takes us out of our own comfort zone. So it was great. So we're gonna have Antelia kind of introduce like the whole thing that we did, our whole methods that we use and what we did, so then we can go into depth.
Yes, definitely. So I'd like to touch a little base on the introduction, give you a little roundup on what we did, and Alejandra will go ahead and go into a little more details. To start off, we did a separation of group of women between the ages. There is a large variety of women in San Antonio, and we focused on different ages. We also focused on different races and different demographics as to where their locations are, either in the east region, in the northeast region. San Antonio is the 7th biggest city in the nation, so it is full of women, and all these different regions depict a different type of women that we were able to analyze, and we were able to get really good information depending on the different regions that we went to. We were also able to conclude our hypothesis that women that are younger, in fact, do prefer a certain drink, which is a mixed drink, a well vodka with your typical tonic or water or soda as well. We were also able to conclude that older women from an upper class enjoy from higher end liquors like Crown and Jack Daniels or such, and younger women from the middle class prefer beer like Dos Equis or Michelob Ultra, which is very, very popular amongst a younger crowd, always trying to stay healthy and fit. But before we go into more details on the drinks, Alejandra will go ahead and give you a little more on that.
So I'm going to talk about the method that we actually used. So Antelia was talking about going to different areas and different bars around town. We were actually wanting to hit up different sections, meaning like the north side, the south side, the west, the east. So we were able to get a variety and all the women in San Antonio, so we wouldn't just focus on one collective area. We did go to different bars like 8811, like the 210 Sports Cantina in the south side. We also went to 151 Twin Peaks. We also went to Hooters. We went to Live, Cooter Browns, and we also hit up St. Mary's on the Strip, and we got to see Pegasus and Knockout, which are other bars just like Brass Monkey too. Not only did we go to bars, but we also attended different fiesta events, since that's what we were actually doing our research throughout the time the fiesta was going on, and we found that if we went to these locations, we would find perfect distinctive groups within the age, the race, and the demographics of women, which we were trying to find in correlations to what they prefer to drink, whether it's beer, a wine, or a mixed drink. So that was our method that we used. And Antelia is now going to go over one of the ways that we actually got to do this and how we got the age percentage of that.
Yes, definitely. There was a huge range of different women, ranging from those different controlling factors that we did, experimental factors, the experimental factors that we did. And well, there was a question that we kind of mainly depicted the entire project on, which was, do you have a preference in alcohol? If so, which one and why? going out there and being able to actually communicate with these women, we were able to learn a lot more on the drink and why they were drinking it according to the event or their emotions on the day. So it's a huge variety, but we were able to go and meet these women and discover, you know, these different factors, how they come into effect whenever women are deciding their drinks. We were also able to find the correlation between the ages and the demographics as well as the race. We decided to actually use the different age groups, which were from the ages of 21 to 25, and what we saw, a majority of them were actually drinking something more of a sweet drink, a mixed drink. We had the 25 to 35-year-old women that were actually drinking something more like a beer compared to the younger crowd, but most of them, you know, everything was around the board. Some of them were drinking other things, and also women who were over the age of 35 were more seen in different area drinking, and we saw them drinking, you know, a wine or a light beer being the second choice. So it was actually very neat to see that age differences and how it correlates to drinking either beer, wine, or the liquor, the mixed liquor. Yes, and aside from that discovery, we also were able to conclude that due to the demographics, people do have actually preferences based on the demographics. We did the upper class, the middle class, and the lower class of San Antonio. It is a huge city, so we have a little bit of everything, and it was very interesting and intriguing going to different locations and different class groups of my own that I've never been to, you know. So we did discover that middle class women preferably located in the northwest region of San Antonio, prefer a beer, or second choice would be a mixed drink. They like the soft beers like Michelob Ultra or your Dos Equis. It's kind of just a preference onto the location. Sometimes they're having cookouts, so it just varies. But we did also conclude that women from the lower class, from the southeast area,
southeast, southwest region, we did see a lot of bars that were selling mostly beer to women. So that's what we saw a lot within the middle class. And then the upper class, or the lower?
The upper class were more of a older women crowd, more in the Cantera area, Stone Oak area, the bars like that. And we were able to conclude that they like wines, a more exclusive taste of alcohol. It's a little different from younger women, especially the ones in the middle class. It varies. They are very specific with their drinks. It's like as if they know exactly what they want. A younger group of women kind of just goes to a mixed drink, but older women, especially in the upper class, prefer fine wines or fine liquors like Crown and many more, like Grey Goose vodka with water. So cool. You're looking at a little bit more of the women as they get older. They kind of experience, you know, what they actually do like and don't like, or maybe it's also believed that your taste buds kind of do change as you grow in age. So I think similar to us, when we started drinking with the sweet drinks, and then we went to a beer, and now we can actually drink a liquor. You know, sometimes we'll do shots straight of a certain drink, and that's what we saw a lot of the women in San Antonio kind of going through, you know. What's really, really neat about this is that we both kind of work in industries. I work in a serving industry right now, and so does she. And we were able to, you know, not only go out in our own time and actually analyze, but we, in our, you know, personal time, we were also able to make these relationships amongst the women, the younger women. For personal experiences as well, we started off mixing, you know, your vodka with your cranberry and stuff like that, and that's what you see in the younger crowds by the UTSA area, St. Mary's area. You know, the clubs range very differently from bars or from restaurants. The environment kind of gave us a big picture.
And along with the bars, we also hit a few events for Fiesta.
Definitely, the Fiesta events were able to help us out, you know, very specific targets, you know, from Market Square to Nyosa to Oyster Bake as well, from A Taste of the North Side,
and then the Taste of New Orleans. So it has very different demographics, very different, you know, women of different ages are attracted to different fiesta events, and you also saw different races attending different ones. So it was really good to get all that data. And we took into account.
It was very, very neat. We enjoyed it very much. We were able to come up with this information. We were also able to conclude that we were in fact right, that there is a relationship amongst the race, the age, and the demographics of a woman when they come to play and when we decide what we're going to be drinking.
We do have variations of it, but for the most part, the majority of women, concerning to an age group, concerning to a race, and concerning to a demographic region, do choose something similar compared to what the other person around them is drinking.
Yes, definitely. So it was very neat to discover that younger women, of course, stick to cocktails, mixed drinks. Older women prefer wine and exclusive drinks, and the
25 through 35 region kind of drink a beer.
Yes, and by the races that, you know, Hispanic women predominantly prefer, white Hispanics prefer drinking beer from white Americans who prefer drinking wine or martinis or cocktails, exclusive cocktails, and that Asian women usually don't have a preference, that they kind of just go off according to what their husband's drinking or what people around them are drinking. So very diverse. For the African women, they prefer mixed drinks. They do like the vodkas with any juices,
type of mixture,
you know, or sodas and stuff. So
a whiskey and a soda, but also, you know, with second being wine. They're not, the preference in beer isn't that big amongst the African American communities. So, and that's what we noticed also.
Yeah,
with an exception of a few for each and every individual group that we decided to study.
Yeah, so it ranged. That's what we concluded. This was, for the most part, of course, you know, it varies. We're all different, and we have different emotions, which range up and down. We decide, you know, what we're gonna drink spontaneously. You know, sometimes
one day we want wine, another day we want a bottle of beer.
Yeah, so I think pretty much that's what we conclude, that women are very spontaneous in their drinks, and just depending what they feel like drinking is what they will have.
Yeah.
And we are happy to have brought this to you. I hope you enjoyed it. And
thank you.
Thank you. Have a good one.